YouTube. Crazy word.
Yo, that's crazy work.
Who this nigga on that name?
Ain't nobody but me, boss. What up, YouTube? Big TL Heavy Bag TV. Man, if you don't get your goof ass in here and hit the bag. All right, man, we got some great news. It appears, and I'm just finding out we got a date for Sebastian Fundora, Errol Spence, the anticipated return of Errol Spence. And listen, man, I gotta admit, I'm excited to see him get back in there and see what he got left. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not giving him much shot in this fight. Through all of the excuses, I listened, I took heed, I've considered, and with all of the excuses accounted for, I'm not gonna give him much of a chance in this fight with Sebastian Fundora, who of course holds the WBC, the WBO, and maybe just WBC by the time this takes place. But nonetheless, another great day for Errol, another great payday for Errol Spence. In my opinion, after that loss to Sebastian Fundora, I'm not sure where he goes from there, but we'll see. But what's extremely interesting is a name that I've continuously said on this channel, which is Edwin De Los Santos. It's almost like he just completely disappeared after the unanimous loss to, of course, Shakur Stevenson, which happened, God, I can't even remember when that fight actually took place. It's been a minute, and it looks like they found him a dancing partner. Of course, if you see Errol Spence, there's a good chance you'll see the only man down fighter that we know of, and a Frank Martin. All right, so it appears Frank Martin versus Edwin De Los Santos are in talks, right? And that fight could potentially be on the undercard of course, Sebastian Fundora and Errol Spence. Now, it looks like they're trying to hash out, it's being reported they're trying to hash out the actual weight, whether it'll be at 135 or at 140. And, if you looked at Frank Martin in his last fight versus Tank Davis, in my opinion, he looked like he came in malnutrition. You know what I'm saying? It looked like he struggled to make 135 pounds. He looked a little skeleton like to me. So maybe this fight actually takes place at 140 pounds. And again, given the way he looked at the weigh-in versus Tank Davis, it's probably time for Frank Martin to move up. And you got to give even more credit to Tank Davis for beating up on another bigger man in that fight in the manner and the fashion that he did. But really, really great news, man. Definitely want to see De Los Santos more active. I do believe that is one of the top lightweights out there as well. And he deserves some opportunities. Listen, Shakur Stevenson has said publicly on several different occasions now about the skill set of Edwin De Los Santos. He's shared the ring with him. I think there's huge respect for him, and I think he has seen being in the ring with him. He knows what Edwin De Los Santos brings to the table. I'm not so sure Frank Martin survives this Edwin De Los Santos fight if he's the fighter that I actually think he is. We'll see. We might see a repeat of that Rayo fight, in my opinion, versus Frank Martin. But listen, not to take anything from Frank Martin. Every dog has his day. Not to say that he's not a good fighter. I think he is. And it's going to be interesting to see that matchup for sure. All right. Devin Haney, right? Workouts over there in the UK. Told us he was going over there for a reason. And it appears he was out there doing open workouts for a reason. It's being reported, and of course he shared a picture on his social media with him and Turkey Al Sheikh. And listen, for all of the Devin Haney haters who's talking about him potentially not getting fights and whatever the case may be, the fact that his stock did drop. Listen, I agree 100%. I do believe his stock dropped. I do believe Devin's reputation has a black eye right now. But you got to give Bill and Devin some credit. They know, there's another avenue out there. It appears he was invited out there actually by Turkey Al Sheikh to talk business. And if anybody is in a position to put Devin Haney in a ring versus other opponents, it's Turkey Al Sheikh. Now, is that like the last lifeline Devin Haney probably has? Maybe so. There is an offer out there from BLK Prime. According to Devin, he said he'll see us in March. So one way or another, whether it's BLK Prime or Turkey Al Sheik with Riyadh season or the ring situation, more than likely we'll see Devin twice in 2025, especially with the Garcia rematch. I think everybody wants to see that, right? I think that's, and if you're Devin, to me, that's the only fight that really matters. But according to Devin Haney, he wants that rematch with Ryan Garcia, but he definitely wants it to be under clean circumstances, right? He's urging Ryan Garcia to test with VADA. And I think that is why he took the initiative to sign up for VADA 24/7, 365 testing, right? To prove that he's a clean fighter, and in an attempt to help clean up the sport, where all of these fighters could volunteer to do the same thing. And listen, as a boxing fan and somebody who wants the sport to be clean, it's just hard for me to be mad at that. If you want to sign up to be tested 365, I applaud that. That's cool with me, right? Because I definitely want everybody to be clean. But Ryan Garcia actually responded to that. And I don't want to misquote Ryan Garcia. Let me see if I can get the exact quote for you guys real quick. Ryan Garcia, he responds to that, and he had this to say, quote, says, getting really strange, quote, it's getting really strange why it's always VADA. Can we get some other organizations to test? Because you got Bill Haney pushing only VADA, never says any other organizations, and it's strange he's pushing a certain organization. Don't you just want any kind of testing? All this sounds like the people who's pushing to use VADA are getting some type of cut of money to have people use VADA. Seems unethical. That's just my opinion. I will always state my innocence. I'm clean, but the organization I will never use again. Speaking about VADA, end quote from Ryan Garcia. So he's professing that he'll never use VADA again, which, I mean, listen, it's, one of the more reputable testing, organizations out there. Not the only one, I don't believe, but it feels or seems like a weak ass excuse. If I'm being honest, Bill Haney and Devin is not the only one who mentions VADA. You got David Benavidez with his own situation with David Morrell, who was speaking on VADA. It's a lot of people who go to the most reputable organization, and that just happens to be one of them. So again, weak in my opinion. Not to say he's not a clean fighter or wants to be a clean fighter, or with that situation you just don't know. But that's a weak ass excuse in my opinion. All right. Definitely want to know y'all's thoughts, man. Ryan seemingly saying, listen, man, fuck y'all and your stipulations. I'm not rocking with VADA. But I guess as long as he's getting tested from somebody, with valid, reputable testing from some type of organization, I guess it doesn't matter at the end of the day. All right. Definitely share your thoughts in the comments, man. That's all I got for y'all on this one. Big T O Heavy Bag. I am out of here. Talk to him, Roger.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.